But today I decided to do a video on making a custom handle for a fire striker using the blank materials, a piece of cypress wood that was pulled out of the woods in Florida, and a piece of ferro rod blank. I don't know if you can see this, but I'll put it up there. Turned out pretty good. It's fairly light. The rod's a little on the heavy side, but I used a bigger diameter so I could get more off of every strike, plus may last a little longer. I'm supposed to be cleaning the garage and changing oil in my truck, but that wasn't no fun, so I decided to make these two fire strikers since I've been procrastinating for a week on getting them done. And now I've got a trip coming up next weekend, and I need to get them finished before then so I can give to my brother and a friend of his. Here's the cypress wood. I've already cut it into little long square blocks, and I've marked it for two of the handles, and I'm going to cut those out and drill some holes in them the diameter of the ferro rod, and then what I will use is 5-minute epoxy to glue them into the hole to get them prepared to start sanding. Normally the other one I did, I just hand carved it and sanded it, but this is going to take a little longer to do two of them, and I don't have that much time, so I'm going to cheat a little bit and use my Dremel tool. Okay, I got the little blocks cut out. Now all I have to do is drill the hole in the center of it where I can glue the ferro rod in. I'm going to use 5-minute epoxy, and it seems to do pretty good. I've been using it for a long time for different things, anywhere from fishing lures to ferro rods. So now I'll go over to my little tabletop drill press and drill the holes in it. The ferro rods that I'm using I picked up at goinggear.com. Super nice guys there. I'm fortunate to live close enough I can actually go to their shop. This is just a blank ferro rod that I'm all cut down using a hacksaw. But as you'll see, you'll have to be very careful when you're sawing these with a hacksaw, because they're going to create a lot of sparks, and I've already caught my little wooden table on fire one time. So anyway, let me get these holes drilled, and then we'll go from there. I've gotten the ferro rod set up so I can cut them out. The two little square blocks already ready. I got the two holes put in them. Now we just need to get the ferro rods ready to be glued inside the rods. Also, I have to put in here also, you should wear goggles or some kind of eye protective when you do this, because this stuff is really flying, as you're going to see. I'll do a couple of times so you can see it, and then I'll just go ahead and cut them off camera, because this will take a few minutes to get these cut all the way through. And now I know what the best way to make a fire is. Just use a hacksaw blade. Alright, so that gives you the idea. We got those cut out. Now basically it's just a matter of getting the 5-minute epoxy and getting them glued inside. And then once they're glued and dried, we'll end up with this. And then we'll start sanding and getting it formed for the actual handle itself. Give me a little plastic thing to use for a mixing bowl. Because whatever I put this 5-minute epoxy in is going to be ruined, so you're going to throw it away. And this epoxy I picked up at the Auto Parts. I think it was Advanced Auto Parts. It's just a standard clear 5-minute epoxy. And that's probably too much for what I need, but it'll be alright. Alright, now we're going to mix this up real good. Oh, it sure is nice today. I don't know what the temps are, but it's really getting cool outside in the daytime. Hope it's like this on my trips next week. Alright, that's good enough. It doesn't take but a second to get all mixed up. Then what I'll do is take a Q-tip, run around inside real good. And take my rod and just stick it in, let it ooze out. Get all the air out of it. And the part that's bubbled up, it doesn't really matter because it's gonna, before it completely dries, you'll have time to scrape it off, and it's like a little rubber piece around it. Hear the air pushing out of it. Turn it a few times, get the glue all the way around. And if you notice, I have the tape on there to try to keep some of the glue off of it. Now I'll take it and kind of make sure that the rod's straight. And that's good enough, and we'll let that dry. And then it'll be time to start sanding them down. Alright, I think our glue is dry enough. It's pretty hard. So now we're ready to start sanding this out. Normally I would start using a little small knife to start carving off the corners and the edges and start giving it a little shape, but as I said, I don't have much time. So my best friend is a Dremel tool. So I'll give you a little demonstration on how I do it, and then I'll go ahead and get them finished off of camera and give you an idea of what it looks like. Alright, so that'll give you an idea of what I'm going to do to sand these out. Now I'm going to have to put on my mask because this cypress dust is about to make me start sneezing. I finally got it all sanded down. Kind of got them roughed out the way I want them to look. One of them I wanted a little longer and a little bit bigger than the other one, because it's for two different people. Mine I pretty much custom made for myself, the way I wanted it to fit my hand. These two I'm kind of guessing on. Now I'm going to take some 150 grit sandpaper and kind of finish sanding them down, kind of smooth them up a little more, because they still kind of look rough. And once I get that done, then I'm going to take some super fine black sandpaper. I'm not sure what that's called. It's a P800 sandpaper, and it's just some real fine sandpaper I had laying around. Actually, it looks like I'm going to have to go to the store and get some more, because as usual, when you need it, you're out of it. But anyway, it's take me a few more minutes to get these sanded down, and then what I'm going to do, if you look at my original, I have a little aluminum piece that goes through the end of it, where the string goes through, and then I'll have to drill the hole in the head of the handles and kind of grind the end of that down. Shouldn't need any glue for that. I didn't use glue on mine because I knew the polyurethane would kind of seal it in there, so I wasn't too worried about it. And it hasn't come loose. It's still very tight. And I'll tell you a little more on the little aluminum, let's see, what are they called? Yeah, just aluminum spacers. And I'll tell you the size and where I got those at in a little while. After about an hour or so of sanding with the fine sandpaper, I ended up not even using the 150 grit. I didn't really need it. The black sandpaper worked really well. It got pretty good smoothness on it. Looks like there's a bunch of ridges on it, but there's not. It's just the way the grain and stuff looks, and what is there you won't be able to tell once the polyurethane goes on. Alright, now I'm setting up my little drill press so I can drill the little spacer. These spacers I bought at Walmart, and they're just they're called crown bolt solid aluminum spacers. They're number 10 by 5/16 inch by 1 inch, and I think they were like 50 cents a piece, 60. It was less than $1, I know. So I'll get this in the drill press. Oops, sorry about that. I'm gonna have to get me a tripod. Well, this is really a pain in the butt to try to do this holding it on my stick pick. But I wanted to give you an idea of how I was going to actually do it. Okay, that looks good right there. So now what I'll do is just drill a hole through it. I got the spacer inserted in there, and I had to put a little touch of glue in it because the hole was a little bigger than it was the last time I did it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Dremel tool with the little cutting wheel, and I'm going to cut it off kind of at the angle of the spacer in the wood, where it'll be a little easier to kind of grind on it. Alright, as you can see right there, it's a little bit rough where I just cut it off. So now what I'll do is I'll swap out the cutting wheel for the little grinding wheel, and then real lightly grind around the aluminum to kind of smooth it out. Alright, now when I finish sanding it, it's going to help kind of shiny it up a little bit or make it a little smoother where it's not so rough, because you can still feel a little bit of rough edge. And then once I put the polyurethane on, it'll take the rest of that off of it. So let me get these finished getting cut off, and I'll get them sanded down and get them ready to put the polyurethane on it, and then I'll show you what the whole striker looks like before I put the urethane on. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Minwax fast drying clear polyurethane and put probably 2 or 3 light coats on the wood of this fire striker, and then let it dry, and they'll pretty much be done. Excuse me, man, this dang dust is about to eat me up. Anyway, let me get these first couple of coats of polyurethane on it, and I'll get them cleaned up and let you see the finished product. It took overnight to dry, but they turned out pretty good for a down and dirty little project. Here's a close-up of it. And the little striker part I also picked up at goinggear.com. They seem to be a little better than some of the other things I had been using. Okay, well, let me know what you think. If you have any comments, like it or subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot more stuff coming up.